Hey guys, Curious here with another review. This time I'll be reviewing the Henshin Belt Deluxe Ohma Geo driver from Kamen Geo. This is the belt used and worn by Ohma Geo. The set includes the Ohma Geo driver itself, a set of belt straps, and a belt stopper. Now before going into the nitty-gritty, I actually want to leave a warning here at the top of the video that this review will contain spoilers from the end of Geo, and it's pretty important spoiler that it's going to be getting into, so I wouldn't recommend going into this unless you've already watched the end or until the ending of Geo, or if you don't mind being spoiled on it, but you have been warned. With that out of the way, let's get started. First off, let's take a look at the Ohma Geo driver in detail. Now, as far as the base design goes, this is essentially a recolored version of the GEKI driver, but now turned almost completely gold, with the exception of the screen in the middle and the bits of metallic red for these two buttons, which are what are here in place of the red watch slots. They take up the slots and can't be detached, and these are what will activate the different features. You can see it's a very splendid design to it, with some regal kind of accents added to the buttons on the side. And you also notice that all of this gold you see on front is metallic gold paint. You can see that on the top and the bottom too. Really the only places where you can't see any of that gold paint will be for the power button down here, or the power switch. And then on the back, where we can see the base color is still gold plastic to go along with the rest of it. And this basically is just the same as the back of the normal GEKI driver, down to how the battery cover says belt in katakana. And of course, those comes with the belt straps, which are simply a gold recolored version of the ones that came with the GEKI driver. And these are attached the same way as always, where you just hold down the buttons and then tab in one side, and do the same on the other. And with that, you have the completed Ohma Geo driver. But, for simplicity's sake, we'll be keeping them detached for the rest of the review. To start off, of course, we need to power it on. We'll get our activation sound. Just like that, no name announcement. And so to get into the basic functions, we'll start with the transformation, which is done by pressing the left and right buttons at the same time. And so there we have the transmission for Kamen Ohma Geo, where you can see it reading Ohma Geo across the screen, and then it ends with the year 2018. And that's where, or that's something we'll tie into the spoiler that I mentioned at the beginning of the review. Now for the special attack, do the same thing and just press both buttons at the same time. And that activates the Ohma Geo HISSATSU GEKI, or Ohma Geo finishing attack. This also has 20 other special attack sounds, one for each of the 20 Heisei riders. So for the first 10, use this button here on the right, and for the last 10, use this one here on the left. And so to activate them, you're going to press the two buttons and then press either the left or right button to get to one of the riders. So it'll show the year that writer debuted, as well as saying something like Kuga no Toki, or Kuga's time of Kuga. And then it'll read out their basic special attack. So for Kuga, it's Mighty Kick. Then for Time of Agito, we get Rider Kick. Now, as you can hear there, the special attack sound is the same for each one, so for simplicity's sake, I'll basically just be kind of skipping through them and skipping past the attack sound by just cycling through the different years. So there we had Kuga through Decade. And now we'll go through the other half on the other side. And there we have Double through GO. Now to release the transmission, you want to press and hold both buttons at the same time. Or no, maybe not. Rather, instead you press and hold the left button. Next we'll get into the voice lines for the belt. And herein is where we'll have to get into those spoilers. So start, we have some phrases from Sogo, aka the present GO, which are done by pressing the button here on the left. And you can kind of see that some of this is conversation between GO and Ohma GO. Or rather, you can hear that. And here come the spoilers.
大魔ジオになれ。時の王者に。お前ならなれる。最高最善の魔王に。ギーツ、死ぬな。幸せだったぞ。この時代に来て。ソゴ、お前の仲間に友になれて。ギーツ、ギーツ。
So there we have the GEKI Ohma Geo driver equipping sound. And I think you know where this is going. And so yes, there we go. The big spoiler is that in the very final episode of Kamen Geo, the present Geo, Sogo, actually becomes Ohma Geo, which a big goal of the series, or kind of the main goal, was trying to prevent him from doing so. But in the end, he needs to become Ohma Geo to defeat the final enemy. And so from here, we have another set of sounds that you get after the transformation. And then you can activate the special attack to go along with those sounds. And we continue on. And for the final sound, we have the sound of the world being reset at the very end of the series. And that's it for the normal set of phrases. Then if we press the right button after transformation, we get some phrases from Ohma. That is to say, the future version of Ohma. 'Before getting on to the final set of sounds, of course, show you guys Ohma himself, thanks to the box. This is a character that has been seen since the very beginning of the series, and you can see that has a name very fitting of Ohma, both having king in the name, that being O, also being a reversal of Mao or Demon King. You can see he has a very regal look, like a king, but also a very kind of dark and sinister look to him as well. Being black with all these gold accents, having this band across the sash, like a king's sash. Having a much more ornamented bezel to the kind of watch face, as well as some other details that just give him a more sinister look. In fact, while it's a detail that's hard to show on camera, you can actually take a look close, you can see a design in the face that runs throughout it, and that is the kanji O, meaning king. So this design in Ohma is very worthy of the title of Demon King. And for the final set of sounds, we'll press and hold the right button, and this will give you the 4 different opening narrations from the series. And as a fun fact, the opening narrator is also the same voice as Ohma.
たち、すべての力を受け継ぎ、新たなレジェンドが始まる。いわゆる真の王者の誕生。時代を駆け抜けた平成仮面ライダーたち、彼らの力を集め、最後の戦いが幕を開ける。切り開け、真の王となる未来。
And there we go. Overall, the Ohma Geo Driver is a splendid belt, and even though it's one that we've known about since the very beginning of the series, having been released now, it makes sense why it would be released after the very end, with how it actually spoils or has content from the very ending of the series to where they didn't want to release it too early so as to spoil it ahead of time, but instead wait until after that already passed, and then give this to the fans as something of a last cap-off to the series and to the belts. As I said, it's very well made, very brilliant, what with the high amount of gold paint, which definitely gives it a feeling of being a premium Bandai product, as well as just all the different sounds you get, from the transformation to the special attacks to all the ones that are in there that were not really seen in the series, to all the different voice lines that are a good fit and well representative of both Ohma Geo as the character from the future, as well as Ohma Geo as the one from the present, who transformed into him in the final episode. This is definitely a belt worth getting if you're a big fan of the series and a big fan of where it went, as well as just of the character of Ohma Geo. This is definitely well made and has all the sounds it needs to have. There's really not too much wrong I can say about it, except I do wish that there was a way to activate the standby sound for the transformation without having to go through all those voice lines, but that is a very, very minor nitpick. So overall, this is a belt that if you have the money, if you can find it for a reasonable price on the aftermarket, I would highly, highly recommend. However, this is not to be the last Geo product that I review, as next time I'll be reviewing the Deluxe Memorial Ride Watch set. So, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and if you're new and would like to see more, please subscribe and hit the bell icon. And for now, this is KRX50, writing off.